Alright, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Randy here with RTS Mobile Gaming, bringing you a fantastic video. Today we are playing the Lord of the Rings Rise to War, and in today's video we are dueling with my good buddy James, okay, over here, Agnath on the Gundabad faction, and we are going to be talking about Azru-Khor versus Celeborn, because I've got a number of battles where we compared them apples to apples against his Dwalin, and then we compared them apples to apples against his Mouth of Sauron. So in this video we're going to be talking about that, alright, because that's always been the question, right? Like, what happens when you go Lothlorien and you end up getting a fight with Celeborn and Marchwardens, or a fight against Azru-Khor with Marchwardens, right? What happens and why? Let's talk about it, okay? Now, first things first, I am going to be talking about the build. I'm running a slightly different build than what you're used to seeing. This is a more tanky build. What I've done is I've sacrificed those first 2 rounds of plus 32% damage for the Marchwardens from Celeborn's Respect 5 tree, and I've moved the points into the Respect 0 trees here to give myself enormous tankiness, okay? So what I've done is I've picked up 14% tankiness here, 15% tankiness here, and a crap ton of armor, okay? So the Y's, right, by maxing it out, 15% damage mitigation. Then we go over to magical barrier. This is going to be somewhere around 40-50 defense, right? So really, really tanky. And then, like I said, shield training, 14% damage mitigation to range. So this makes Celeborn extremely tanky. It puts his Marchwardens at like 130 something armor defense, and it just makes them really phenomenal, okay? And their damage is still pretty fantastic anyways, all right? Now, for the Azru-Khor build, you can see I'm running similar gear here. I'm running a Blitz Fiddle just because I want to have Blitz. Celeborn does sacrifice Blitz by not having that R5 tree there for his Marchwardens. We'll talk about that later. And this build is also an interesting build. We're running the double strike from the Corsairs of Umbar. Then we're running a lot of points in Warship Captain and into Discipline. This is going to give me plus 35 defense, as well as a great heal, like 12,000 punch heal with a cleanse on it, right? The cleanse is nice. That's definitely something important to look at, all right? So, for the damage itself, Raider's going to be, you know, anywhere from 7,000 to 10,000 damage on the proc. We have fueled oil, and then I have my extra points in powder keg. What I don't have here is treason, right? You have to make a decision with Azru-Khor. Do you run Warship Battle with Discipline to get defense and heals and cleanses? Or do you run with the treason tree, where you basically sacrifice 15 points and give your commander more damage dealt, in order to put 7 points in treason and cause madness for the first couple rounds, right? That's a decision you have to make. Easy to counter. Right now, I wanted to compare 2 tanky builds, okay? So these are 2 tanky but high damage Marchwarden builds, all right? Okay. So we're fighting against Dwalin here. This is a nicely geared, very straightforward skill set Dwalin. He's got the R3 tree here from Durin's Blood. He's got the R0 tree from Experienced Warrior. Gear-wise, he's got some high defense for his dwarves with the Battle Hammer, right? Chest piece has some commander stat stick on it. The helmet's going to be some HP and then a potential stun. And then for the accessory, we've got Pursuit for the first couple rounds, okay? And he's just running a straight stack of Ram Riders, all right? So these are not the most tanky units in the game. If he was running the Guardians, I would be dealing a little bit lower damage. As you can see, the Ram Riders don't have crazy defense, so I should deal pretty decent damage with both range builds, okay? So clearly, obviously, right, spoiler, Celeborn performed massively better than Azru-Khor, and it's not due to lack of damage output. There is a round or 2 here where Azru-Khor actually out-damages Celeborn because Azru-Khor gets a double strike. He gets his fuel oil burn proc right from the Raider proc. There are a few rounds where Azru-Khor's Marchwardens out-damage Celeborn. However, I'm going to say this objectively, right? Because Celeborn has this 29% damage mitigation, right? 15 here. We've got another We got another 14 here, right? That's 29% damage mitigation from all sources, including commanders, plus the large defense boost. That 29% damage mitigation is really, really big against Dwalin, because that reduces Dwalin's damage, which is really important. All right, so for this particular battle, hands down domination. All right, let's take a quick look at the report. We'll look at the first 3 rounds, and we'll move on, okay, to the Azru-Khor version. All right, so here you can see, right, huge damage from Deadeye, damage mitigation from the Wise, damage mitigation from shield training, and here's that 43 defense compared to Azru-Khor 35. So I'm already getting, you know, 8 more defense and then 29% more damage mitigation running Celeborn versus Azru-Khor. What I don't have is the heal, right? So you're switching, you don't have a heal and a cleanse. So here's Dwalin hitting the Marchwardens for 4,700. Remember that number. Collaboration 4,900, right? This is Dwalin attacking with max command. Okay, he hasn't lost a single command yet. So that's really his max damage. 47 and 49 on the Marchwardens. Here comes the Marchwardens punching the Ram Riders directly in the face for 36,000 damage. Not too shabby. Okay, armed escort. You can see even with 1 or 2 points in armed escort, I'm getting a 2,000 heal nuke. Not too bad, okay. It's not a bad idea if you have an extra point to throw 1 point in armed escort just to get the trigger. Now the Marchwardens are receiving plus 40% damage now, okay. So they're going to see a little bit higher damage, 5,600 damage from collaboration. Marchwardens another 34k punch in the face. All right. And here in round 3, the Marchwardens have lost their damage bonus from the guide tree, okay? They no longer have that damage bonus from the guide tree. All right. Still hitting for 23k. I mean, it's not too bad, guys. It's really not too bad. All right. And where's Whirlwind? Where's Whirlwind? I want to see what that damage looks like. There's a Whirlwind hit on the Cataphract for 96, but didn't hit the Marchwardens. Okay. I mean, that's enough from this report, right? You saw that. 23k here, damage in round 3. 35k in round 2. Let's see what Azru-Khor looks like. Remember, we're looking for 47 and 4,600 damage in round 1 from Dwalin. So here, the Marchwardens have the Blitz ability from the Fiddle, so they are going to get their Pursuit buff. They are going to attack first for 18k. Lower damage than with Celeborn, of course. Celeborn provides enormous bonuses, okay? Okay, let's see. We got the Madness. Trample. Okay. Marchwardens again hitting more Ram Riders. He's now lost. Oh, here's a double strike. Oh my god, and a Raider proc. Look at that, guys. 46,000 damage. Like I said, here in round 2, I've out-damaged Celeborn by 30%. 46k damage versus what, 35k? Huge, huge damage increase, guys. 30% damage increase over Celeborn in round 2. Okay? Here we go. See what I'm saying? I was taking 4,700 damage from Dwalin's auto attack when he had full command. Now he's down like 8 command. He's 8 command down, hitting for 5540. So that 29% damage mitigation that Celeborn gives really, really helps. All right, but you can see, I mean, Azru-Khor has the potential to pump out some damage. I mean, look at that. That's pretty substantial. Pretty substantial damage, and here we go, guys. Here it is, massive 12,000 heal with a cure on the minimum damage range debuff. Marchwardens again triggering a Raider proc, so now I'm hitting in round 3. I'm still dealing more damage than Celeborn in round 3. So in rounds 2 and 3, I've dealt more damage than Celeborn. Okay, I'm passing his damage by about 2,000. He was at 23,000. This is at 25,000 damage between Pursuit auto attack with the Raider burn damage proc. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens here in round 3. Oh, another double strike. Another double strike and some more burn damage. Guys, look at that. I mean, this isn't a bad build. It's just, it's not as good as Celeborn, okay? I don't know how else to say it. It's not as good as Celeborn. So, official prognosis, making the decision, I think, to go from treason over to the healing warship captain with discipline, I think, is the right move in this case, especially versus Dwalin. The defense is going to really help me to survive with that heal. Okay, my overall healing in this fight was 24,000 healing, not too bad, versus Celeborn, right, with 8,000 healing, but Celeborn just outclasses Azru-Khor. He just provides more damage bonus for the first couple rounds, although in rounds 2 and 3 he was outdamaged. But overall, his tankiness is just absolutely phenomenal. His sheer tankiness, I mean, look at the amount of damage that Dwalin dealt. Look at this, 120k damage. I cut Dwalin's huevos off. I took a unit with a 41 base defense and I bumped it up to 130 defense, and Dwalin couldn't do anything. Versus this one, you can see here, just the raw numbers, Dwalin has enormously higher damage, same exact units and build, okay? So, thanks for watching, guys. I love you a long time. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. It is now in, the jury is now in, Azru-Khor versus Celeborn, and Celeborn takes the win. Randy out.